I have a few things left over from an electric boat project, and I'll go through each one of these one by one to see what we've got. The main item is a E-Tech field effect motor, DC. It runs on 36 or 48 volts. The controller that I have is from Mars Electric. He was the inventor of the E-Tech motor, and I've got some shrouding that I removed, and God knows what happened to that. But anyway, you have to protect yourself about that. This controller, I wanted to be able to pull 100 amps. I never could pull 100 amps. I got around 80, 85. But it would get hot, so I put fins on there, and then I had a water cooling system that also went around the motor. That fits around the motor. And I could cool both of those, so in the summertime it wouldn't get too hot. But I don't know if that was necessary. This is a contactor. It's an Italian contactor, Trombetti. This is a 36 volt contactor. I've also got another one that's 48 that has a resistance of 150 ohms. That's a little more skookum. This is a custom throttle controller that I had for forward and reverse and stop. It's got a key switch. There's a set of cams in there that press the switches in the right way. All this is, when it was taken off, was properly wired. This is the field effect connector, and then you had this kind of a connector would go to the controller, and then you had 36 volts for driving the controller over here, but then you also had to bring 36 volts across these two terminals for the battery. Over here I've got some power transmission things, some different size Lovejoy couplers. These are 1" because that's what the shaft is. This is a pulley and another pulley that are supposed to have a H bushing to customize them to different shafts sizes. This one's got the H bushing. It's for 1¼ inch shaft that I no longer have. It was a Chris Craft shaft, but you can get different bushings for these. This one doesn't have a bushing because I repurposed it. The 1" bushing got repurposed elsewhere. A variety of belts, a few belts. This is a 1¼ inch bronze journal that I also had on the under the water level. There's a 1¼ inch bearing. Oh, right there's that other. There's the 1" H bushing on a smaller pulley. I guess I had that as the driving pulley. And then lastly, this is a shunt. This is for measuring current, and it can measure up to 200 amps. It's 75 millivolts when you have 200 amps. Anyway, you can use a voltmeter to see how much current you've got. So that's the kind of stuff I have. The main items are the motor and the controller and all of the know-how associated with this wiring. Now I do have diagrams that came with the motor and the controller that I have to dig off my computer. The guy out at Mars Electric really was very helpful. But anyway, these are a few things that I've got. If you're interested, thanks.